About 10 years ago, I was on vacation in Paris with a friend of mine. And one of the places we ended up visiting was the Louvre, which is a museum in Paris. Very famous one, obviously. And one of the most important pictures there is the Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci. Now, when I went to see the picture, it was interesting listening to the comments that were being made around me. People were so disappointed. I mean, they had had these expectations of what it would look like. But the thing is, the Mona Lisa is actually a very small picture, particularly in contrast to many of the pictures in the room, particularly the one that faces directly towards the Mona Lisa, which is the Wedding of Cana. It's almost a full wall. And then you have there this small portrait that's so famous, and yet people somehow expected it to be bigger, to be more impressive. And just listening to the comments of disappointment all around me almost made me chuckle personally, because I was actually enthralled by it. Because I kind of understood the history behind this picture that really helped to change the way painting was done, the way people were painted, by how lighting was used, color, contrast, so many things. This picture that seems so unimpressive radically changed how portraiture was done. But that's hard to see that when you're kind of just looking at it. How easily that can happen in our life. You know, we have expectations of things, and we look around and we come to whatever it might be, and it's just not what we were expecting. It wasn't as impressive as what the build-up had made it to be. And let's be honest, that can happen so often in our faith. That our faith really doesn't live up to sort of our expectations. God doesn't meet us the way we want Him to. Things don't work out the way that we think they should. Mass is, it's just something we do, and we do it every week, and so it loses its sense of mystery and awe. And part of that is because, again, I think we lose sight of what's actually happening. Like people, when they look at the Mona Lisa, they lose sight of what it really means. It's not just a picture. And Mass is not just something we do. It's a place where we encounter the living God, where what the whole world cannot contain, what the universe cannot contain, we come to hold in our hand. God Himself. That we think about it. Each time we go to Mass, God comes and has a conversation with us. One where we don't have to guess whether He's talking to us or not. That's the whole point of the proclamation of the Scriptures. It's God's very word. It's not a human invention. God speaks to us, just as He did to Moses on the mountaintop, to Abraham on the journey. God is speaking to us. And we don't have to guess what He has to say. It's simply about learning to listen. So many things happen and the Mass. But it's not just about the Mass. It's about all of the other gifts that God gives us, that we simply look at them and we're like, We can see that in confession. If people truly understood the great gift that confession was, I'd have to be doing it every day, every minute of every day. Because here, Christ is pouring out his blood for us so that we can be healed of our brokenness. But of course, part of that is we have to recognize our brokenness and recognize our need for this great gift. That in prayer, God is the one who's touching our heart first. We don't go to God first ever in prayer. God comes to us. Think about that. God comes to you in order to talk to you. And somehow we don't have the time to deal with that. We're too busy. It's just not that important. There are other things that need to get done. It's because our expectations are messed up. It really is that simple. It's so easy to look at something and not to recognize its true value. The Mass, confession, prayer, the scriptures, the Mona Lisa. It is so easy to lose sight of the deeper reality that is there. And ultimately, Lent is about helping us to wake up to that. May we truly open up to what God is doing. May we begin to change how we see things. And may we recognize the true value of the gifts that God has given us. God bless.